birds everywhere. Pigeons, they call them in America.
Yeah.
Are they pigeons in Russia?
Голуби. Голубя.
Welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American, back in Moscow. I'm exhausted. I just slept on a train coming back from Karelia. You saw Igor a couple episodes ago. He was at his desk. I was at mine in two separate cities. Was it two separate countries also?
Yeah, it was. Two different continents. No.
And now we are together again. We are breathing the same air for the very first time. And in this video, it's going to be a new style video for me. I'm practicing with Igor's camera, and it is going to be a raw video. We're going to walk through Moscow, and we're going to talk to Igor and get his perspective on Russia, on not being an American. And don't worry, it will not be boring, because although it's a raw video, we're just going to film and walk and talk and see things. I will edit it later for you and show you only the very best of Igor. Right, Igor?
Yeah, and it's truly cool to meet you in infamous Moscow City.
That's right. Is Moscow a good place? Is Moscow a bad place? Find out right now. I am practicing with Igor's camera, one, because my camera is full of episodes I haven't edited yet. I don't have space. And two, I just wanted to practice with another camera and see what it's like. Check it out. Beautiful park. What's the name of this park? I don't know, and I've never been here. And that's to tell you, this is just a random place. What do you think of it, Igor?
I'm amazed about Moscow in general, because anywhere you go, you see. I'm used to I thought it was a big city, St. Petersburg, and it is, but Moscow is bigger. Somebody might say better. If it's is it or not, so you can find out on my videos later on. I'm going to be comparing the lives of two cities, more European, St. Petersburg, and more Soviet imperial, maybe, Moscow. But anyway you go, it's like an awe after an awe. Is that the right word, awe? And to be in awe?
Yeah. It's an awe after an awe. I've never heard that before, but it makes sense, and it sounds cute, and it's the type of expression that creative people with their own YouTube channel need to create. You have an advantage over me because you grew up not in Russia, but in the area, so you know a lot about these different countries that come together, Russia and those on the border of Russia. So you can actually walk by all these buildings and read these plaques and see these statues and know exactly who these
and the
people
language
are.
helps.
Yeah, so you know, it's really, if you're enjoying my fun personality, seeing Russia on my show, and you want more facts and details, this guy's show, Igor in Russia, will definitely help you with that. There's a statue coming up here, and he'll probably be able to tell us exactly who it is. Now I got you on the spot.
Don't get carried away, but I might. I'm not like a historical channel or anything, but I love certain points about history, and I especially, by the way, love the time after Alexander the First. And especially, well, yeah, that's early 1800s and onwards, all the way to Nikolai II, and of course the Soviet times. And Moscow is so amazing. It's like a non-stop Soviet imperialism, and I mean it in a loving way. Because for me it's also like nostalgia in some ways. I was born in like Soviet Riga, which is Soviet Latvia, part of Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of this is the same things because they were part of Soviet Union, whether they liked it or not.
Look at these guys.
Wow.
Just everywhere.
Even the pigeons are used to masses of people.
They're tired, they're hungry. You know, it's a safe city, and they feel like they can just hang out.
Nice, touche. By the way, and the amounts of different towers here is like, you know, Stalin's Tooth, etc. That's crazy.
Now, I saw your short called Stalins Tooth. Is that the nickname for that building?
Yeah, it's one of them. There's 7 of them.
Right,
Seven sisters.
Yeah, I did a video called The Seven Sisters with Aurora. But yeah, I noticed that one building in particular that Stalin had built, it's like two-toned. So the top is like much whiter. Is that why it's called Stalin's Tooth?
Yeah, I'm not that knowledgeable about those, but what I know is that that was the Stalin's response to American skyscrapers and New York skyscrapers, and he wanted to make Moscow like comparable, so they built this huge buildings.
I was half listening to him because, guys, I'm on my phone trying to make sure we're walking the right way. We thought it would be a more interesting video to see each other in person.
Yeah, by the way, it's really nice too. It's all different vibe to meet, even though we got along talking about stuff online, but it's really fun, and because we understand the both sides, like how the Western perceives Russia, and we are able to make some a little bit fun about it as well. Lighthearted fun about it, you know, like infamous Russia and dangerous Russians everywhere, like, or all the stereotypes is basically racism based. That's what I would say.
Yeah, or culturalism, classism, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Russia is definitely misunderstood by the world.
Moscow is a city of money, of wealth, city of administration, and you can see it's in like grandiousness, like committees, all kinds of stuff. More, by the way, coming from St. Petersburg, which is an important city for Russia, second the most important, and culturally #1. There's a lot more police here. I see a lot of, well, the fact that Duma is here.
In Moscow versus St. Pete?
Yeah, a lot of, and they have separate lanes for deputies, you know. I
know it was like that in Soviet times. I've not seen it since I've been here, so I don't know if it still is a thing or if it's just a myth.
Well, how else you can get by through the Moscow rush hour?
Well, I mean, I do see convoys with you know, police cars and lights and everyone getting out of the way, just like I see when I'm in Washington, D.C. and the president's coming by. And there's a lot of commerce here, a lot of business people working here. And it's probably the same way in St. Pete, where you have all these outside places to eat. And it's stuck on my face. Anyway, you'll see it in a second. And they set it up just for summertime, and they tear it all down right before it starts snowing, because summer is short and people want to eat outside.
And it's shorter in St. Petersburg. A city of wealth, city of business, what else? City of rich people.
But you prefer St. Petersburg?
Well, that's a spoiler, but yeah, I prefer St. Petersburg in many ways. But I would give you this: Moscow is a better city, if you know what I mean. You have
more functional.
Yeah, you know, you drive the small things. Let's put it in, let me tell you. You go by scooters, for example. You can drive in a smooth road. There's not gonna be a weird bump that might kill you. And St. Petersburg is so historical. The plates, for example, of where you walk on, they're like from the 1700s. So it's gonna be there.
Oh, like on the river embankment? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
But you definitely, you gotta watch your step.
And here you can see it's flat, roads are excellent. For example, then there's even bike lanes, which is a very European thing, normal thing. But in St. Petersburg, you don't see that because, well, where are you gonna put it? There.
But now
I'm also defending, notice.
But look at this. I mean, like, these buildings, these are like European style buildings. Definitely. And they look old.
This is, by the way, style of empire, St. Petersburg.
If you look just this way, this is stereotypical St. Petersburg.
Yeah, it is.
Look, right? So, but what's the difference between these and the ones in St. Petersburg that they must protect? Are these, or maybe these are protected too? Maybe it's just a smaller space.
Yeah. And there's only few streets which are very historical in Moscow, I believe. I tried to Google a bit before I came here. I've been filming like 12-15 hour shifts. I call them shifts. Non-stop filming, so I want to explore everything. Every corner I find interesting and fascinating.
Right. Yeah, St. Petersburg, guys, is I think like the Venice, Paris version of Moscow. And well, I mean, I'm in the middle of a series where my wife and I are there right now. So this video will probably come out right after our St. Petersburg Center video. So if you missed that, you can go back and look at the previous video and see it if you're not familiar with St. Petersburg.
Man, I wanted to continue what you said about...
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I forgot. I forgot what you said in the beginning.
Well, as Igor's remembering, just soak up the ambience, guys. Take a look. Not at my face, but Igor's. No,
no, not even mine.
The buildings. It's so beautiful, so nice. And, you know, like I've said before, ask yourself, is Russia a scary place? You know, I mean, I'm just showing you everything. I'm not hiding anything. I may have gone the wrong way, but that's okay. We're on a journey together.
Yeah,
something like Lord of the Rings.
The thing that I do in my videos, that I make some plans where might be going, but eventually I just go. If I want to turn, if I see something, just continue, and that starts. I would, for example, I would turn to the right if I was alone, and do something, watch what's there. And usually, sometimes, I find something like this. I could get killed by.
I have a good story about that. Not your trip, but my trip.
In St. Petersburg, no? Yeah?
No, you just tripped.
Yeah, it's there's like yeah,
the stones
concrete.
are bumpy. But no, I was in this city center, a couple blocks away from here. I was wearing this nice business jacket. Well, it's nice for me, and a rubashka, which is Russian for a formal dress shirt. I was dressed in business clothes. I was right on the outside of Red Square, basically Red Square. I was running to go to like a press conference, and for some Russian thing. I think they were lobbying to make a formal federal holiday out of the Russian victory over Napoleon.
Yeah. To
help Russians take more pride in their history and their successes. And I was in a hurry. I was on my phone. You know, I'm this almost 2 meters tall businessman, big guy, right in Red Square, and I tripped just like you did. Yeah. And I tripped so bad. I've never shared this story with you guys. I tripped so bad that I was going to break something. I was going down hard, but I took a lot of gymnastics when I was a kid, so my brain just automatically calculated the only thing I could do, let's go this way, is roll. And so an almost 2 meter tall guy in a business suit in Red Square, rolling head over heels across the cobblestones like a possum or an animal or something. So funny. I jumped right back up. My wife said, like, you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Well, my one knee and one palm was a little sore.
Well,
but you know, it's just a funny side. I can only imagine what people thought that saw me do it. Anyway, I thought it was funny.
It was nice story. Plus, it gives you an opportunity to make a connection with you guys watching the videos, because I personally enjoy more personal things, you know, to get to with the content creator.
Yeah, I mean, people can they can go online and look at photos, you know, if they want to see what a city looks like. But we're all humans. We like to look at faces. We like to have a personality show us things. It looks like we're seeing more of the back streets. This looks like behind the nice fronts.
You can film forward for a while.
And yeah, good idea.
The microphone is up.
Right.
On.
And if you're into it, I hear there's lots of nice bars around here in the city center, in these back streets.
What's your
right here?
What is your that's me taking over the interview.
Please.
What's your how do you spend time like Friday evening if you don't have any like kids related stuff? Do you go out and to the suburbs, to the center, or I know that's same thing in St. Petersburg. You got a lot of restaurants and things to do, even away from the center. Anywhere you go, but what do you do?
Since I have 5 kids of varying ages, I rarely have free time.
Yeah.
And then you know, because you do a YouTube channel, you know, you're spending a couple hours on each video filming, and then maybe 8 times as much time editing it. Well, I am anyway. I'm not sure. You do more of like these type of videos where you're just walking, filming everything.
Started to.
So you might not need as much time editing.
Yeah.
But my wife and I, we are religious about going on dates about once a week. And because we have
date night.
Yeah, because we have 3 adult children, it's easy for us to go on a date. And there's just restaurants everywhere in this city. So,
yeah.
And you're married, right?
Yes.
And you've been married for what, like 5 years, something like that?
4, yeah.
4 years? Yeah.
It will be 4.
And do you guys go on dates still?
Yeah, but now that I listen to you with respect, there's something for me to take home, an idea to take home, because I do, when I film, and I'm so anxious I have so much goals with my personal channel. I work, but then I have this channel, and I would love to do this full time. So basically I'm like an entrepreneur, and I give all my time to the videos, traveling, etc. Plus I don't live here, unfortunately, I might add. So I have to travel here. So that's away from something. Plus I sit 9 hours in a bus to cross 380 kilometers to St. Petersburg alone. So, you know, it takes a lot of time, but definitely, yeah, we go out. We travel to St. Petersburg every few weeks. And especially in St. Petersburg, there's much more to do, I feel. Much more possibilities. You can go ballet and eat great food, and spend some time and walk in the beautiful like embankments. So we do that.
Oh, that's great. I'm happy to hear it. That man right there, that brass man who's standing outside with a beard and holding a device.
Saxophone.
Is that a saxophone? I wasn't
Maybe.
sure if it was a saxophone or some sort of drinking tool.
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is. Oh yeah, so here's the street that has a lot of the
yes, I've been.
bars
Now I know
and
this.
stuff here.
Yeah. And there's a vinyl shop here, by the way. I need to actually visit this place. I think so.
Oh, let's cross the street.
I think so. This is the street. I don't recognize your streets here in Moscow. There's too many.
And so we got not Slavic letters right here.
Yeah, it's like Georgian probably.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
so
the
in Russia you'll
restaurant
have
at Duše.
Slavic letters. And see,
don't watch
people
over.
everywhere. Are we still on?
Yeah.
Why is it looking at me?
Hold up.
Oh, it got bumped.
Yeah.
We ran into a lady with coffee.
Well, she ran into us.
Yeah, she was still probably irritated with us though.
I'm annoyed. She was walking on our side, on the wrong side of the lane. And she was annoyed because we were here. She wanted to go through us. Sorry, we're not in
well,
business.
she probably has to work 9 hours a day, and she's on her short coffee break.
We're working too, guys.
She's like, who are these guys with their camera? Get out of the way.
Who is this only American and only Finnish guy in Moscow? Tourist. Nah. By the way, there's a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but more than you would expect in these times. Tourists traveling.
Oh yeah, even though there's sanctions and supposedly canceled flights, you still have tourists.
Yeah, and supposedly people think, well, not supposedly, why did I say so? I mean, a lot of people think that you cannot come to Russia now. I will travel when there are better times. Well, it's okay, it's your decision, but what does that mean? I mean, like, how does this affect? Are you afraid? But you still want to come. If you want to come, I think you should just travel. If it's like political and you want to like sanction Russian, okay, that's different. But better times, I don't know what that mean. You know, shawarma. Here you call it shawarma, and everywhere it's like a roll, kebab.
Yeah.
Only in St. Petersburg, it's called shawarma.
Well, wait. So shawarma in St. Petersburg, shawarma in Moscow.
And
this
everywhere
is like
else, yeah.
an
Russian
Ottoman
shawarma.
Empire burrito.
Yeah.
But then there is shashlik, which is just the meat on a stick with some vegetables. It's like open, right?
Yeah.
And in America, you would call that a kebab.
Ah, okay. By the way, this is
Where are you? Okay, there you are. Good.
this is beautiful mansions. You should film it.
Oh yeah.
But it had some insignias So what is it, Romania?
So this is probably where someone from another country lives.
Is it an embassy?
I would assume so.
Yeah, it's Bulgaria.
We're just exploring, guys. You know, this is not a special street in that it's, you know, we don't even know what it is. It's just a street in Moscow. And it's just how beautiful this city is.
Where are we, man? I have no clue.
Another beautiful random park. So, is your city like this? Look at Moscow. Look at St. Pete in this guy's videos and ask yourself, how does it compare to your city? If this is such a bad place, or a place with, let's say, a bad government, why does it look so nice? Even if it's a normal place with a normal government, why are they putting money into these things? They don't have to. Beautiful flowers and statues and safety railings. I mean, a safety railing is expensive. It's not expensive for 12 feet, but it's expensive if it crosses the entire city. And I noticed this in a small town in Karelia. They had this running like in the middle of nowhere. And that's gotta cost a lot of money. Because a lot of people argue that Moscow gets all the money. Well, the places with more population have more tax dollars, they have more money. And
tax rubles.
And it's easy, yeah, and it's easier for the state, the country, to invest in higher populated areas. They're gonna get more out of it, you know what I mean? And it's like that all around the world.
Under New Russia, well, Russia Federation, I mean, they have rebuilt a lot of churches, so you can see, and which is great. In every suburb, at least St. Petersburg, and I'm sure Moscow as well, when they build a new neighborhoods, they always build a smaller or bigger church in the middle of it. So there's churches everywhere reminding people of about the faith. And
we go this way?
Yeah, reminding you that church is important. I'm not sure, I don't know how's here, that how religious young people are. I am, not even living in Russia, but I'm Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, proud to be. Even though as an expat in Finland, but we have Russian churches there because the Russian influence is huge. Historical influence especially. And used to be an altar boy even. That I feel I'm really proud about it.
That's great. So, but you said you sense that young people don't go to church, but you do. So why do you think young people don't, and why do you?
Well, in our church in Finland, which is growing, there were a lot of young people, a lot of kids. But I mean, in general, I know the trend is slowing down, right? In Europe, young people don't believe. But I don't know about the Russian version. I guess probably similar. I hope it's not as bad though. A lot of atheism in Europe.
So I mean, I'm just
Northern Europe.
I'm thinking out loud here. I mean, I believe that humans do what they have to do, or what they feel that they have to do. And if life is well taken care of and everything is good, you might not feel the need to go to church.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, a lot of young people, you know, they were raised by, let's say for instance, in a good country with all their needs met, they might look around and say, well, why do I need to go to church? What's the point?
Yep.
But over time, when you have your own kids and they start acting rebellious and crazy, or when, let's say, things aren't going so smoothly financially in your country, wherever that might be, I think we don't realize sometimes in this modern world how important it is to be religious and to rely some on God and to be focused on something other than yourself, and for your entire culture to be aiming in the same direction, you know.
Wise words.
Yeah. Well, it's just off the top of my head, but thank you.
Yeah.
We're jaywalking now.
Oh,
I have
shit.
my passport, at least he doesn't. So I'll let the FSB
I hope if
take
there's
him away.
problems and I don't have the passport, they will have to let me go. Huh? That's the meme when the dude is holding like this. Smart.
So we are approaching Zaryade Park. I've actually never entered in this way before.
I exited once.
If you guys have watched my channel you've seen this park. It's great. I love it. I think that some Russians aren't a fan because they spent a lot of money on this park. Some Russians feel like it was too much money.
How much was it?
I don't know. What I like about this park is it's right in the center. And it's big, but it's not too big. Because a lot of the Moscow parks, they're super old and they're nice, but it takes all day to walk across them. This is very condensed. It's still big. It's like maybe 3 football fields. So you can easily cross it in 10 minutes. There's the greenhouse. So it's green on top of that hill year round. And we're gonna end on top of this mountain where you can see Red Square. You'll have to think of something amazing to say to end this video.
I think the amazingness comes from the background.
People will remember you.
Make a tattoo of my name. This way you will remember.
Okay,
this video
Igor's
forever.
Advice is to make a tattoo of his name on yourself.
And use I was in Russian Starbucks, Stars Coffee. And they made a. So we can see now that we're closer. These are water misters, keeping the bushes green and alive. Even though we're in Russia, which is known as a cold place, apparently it's hot enough in summer that they have to have water misters on their plant life. And also some of this plant life is not native to Moscow because this park is made to look like the 4 different geographical spaces in Russia. We have come to the mountaintop. This, of course, is a fake mountain made to look like one of the Russian mountains. And we got St. Basil's and the Kremlin coming up right behind it. So beautiful. And then we got churches, more of the Kremlin wall, all these industrial buildings. And that is what?
That's one of Stalin's 7 sisters. Igor is filming some of them now as he lives here for a few days in Moscow. There's the greenhouse and more office space, and then a lot of churches. And if you're interested, I like this building right here with the wooden roof.
Yeah.
Because that used to be British Embassy, something like that. So the British politicians would come visit and they would stay there. And if you go in, it's a museum now, there was actually some trouble there and they were like shooting at each other, like hundreds of years ago. So I didn't read it because I was in a hurry, but I actually did do an episode there. All right, Igor, what do you want to say?
Awesome to meet you in Moscow. Possibly the best city in the world, but once again, I don't know, not my favorite, but really enjoyed. I have to sorry, I said that because I feel bad, like a betraying from St. Petersburg if I say so. That's how. Anyways,
he really loves St. Petersburg.
I love St. Petersburg.
It's okay, you can love 2 cities. They're not like
no,
women.
it's a what's when you have only one wife? That's the what's the word for it?
Gosh, I'm losing my command of the English language. I've been here too long.
Did you know
monogamous? Guys, thank you so much for watching. You must subscribe to Igor and Russia's channel and see St. Petersburg and many other things. And
in
of
English,
course,
yeah.
Yeah, in English. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you must do so. I will keep it fast and exciting and funny and interesting for you. Click like, subscribe, ring the bell notification, click the box, see what happens next, and of course, interrupt my speech right now and send this video to your friends.
Indeed, thanks guys for watching.
You should
go down.
Get it on our feet. I do this? No, that's the wrong way. Sorry guys, I'm practicing. That's right. Is Moscow a good place? Is Moscow a bad place? I didn't know what it was.
I just told you.
No, I didn't know what it was at the time. I'll chop up the boring parts later and you guys won't even hear this. Maybe you will. I keep having these wonderful ideas to talk to you about and then they fly out of my mind.
Because I have 2 long monologues.
I'm gonna be 49 soon. And we're giving you guys everything in this video.
You should show forward.
He's got a beard and a short haircut. I have
Yeah.
not much of a beard and a long haircut.
That was a good comment for the video. And you don't need to get it so close.
Are you in the shot, Igor? Look, guys, I'm with Igor. Welcome to Expat American.